brakes! Put on the brakes! Stop the.
Hey, welcome everyone. Today we have on this video something that was just released. This actually happened in 2021, but it was released that officers lapel pin, what do you call them? Dang, I lost my train of thought on that deal. Body cam, there you go. I knew I'd come up with it. So yeah, this officer, they released a body cam. We'll get into the video and I'll stop it, kind of give you some idea what's going on. I have a lot of questions that I couldn't find answers for on this whole situation. And maybe you folks that live in Iowa can maybe help me move along with this video. But I did try to do some research on it. It was very vague, the things that I found out. But there is a conclusion to this video. So let's jump into this.
King Henry Frank 765, Burgess and Leclerc. Burgess and Leclerc, King Henry Frank 765.
Notice they didn't show any more before this happened.
How's it going, guys? Hey, Dennis. Hey, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but it sounds like you got a warrant.
Let me pause it right here. So in this video, we're not getting a lot of detailed information about the traffic stop. We see the officer give his initial response, but he doesn't go through the license plate. He doesn't actually, I don't know how he knows the guy's name. Now, the passenger in this car is named Dennis. They're not focused on the driver. It's the passenger. Now, I don't know about your state, but in my state, if you're a passenger, you do not have to say anything. If the officer asks you for your ID, you are not part of this traffic stop. Okay. Now, if it gets into legalities, say like you have a weapon or there's some illegal drugs in the car or whatever the case may be, maybe the driver is under the influence, you become part of that investigation as a passenger. That's what I know. But a general traffic stop, whether it's speeding or running a traffic light or whatever, the passenger is not involved in that situation. He is not operating the motor vehicle. He is not part of this whole situation. He can remain silent. He doesn't have to say a doggone thing. Now, I don't know about in Iowa if the passenger has to give his ID. If you don't have the ID, you don't have to give your name. It's just a traffic stop. Now, the driver of the vehicle has to give his information. That's the law no matter what state you go into. You have to have a driver's license and you have to give the information that the officer asked, whatever that may be. Okay. From my understanding, now I don't know about this case. Now they're coming up and obviously they edited this video because this police officer asks the passenger, he tells them that you have a warrant out for arrest. Now he wouldn't know that because he's not asking the driver. That's who's driving the vehicle. So this is what I'm confused with, that what I researched, I have found no information. It's very vague on this.
Okay. You got your ID on you? I'm sorry? Okay. You have anything on you?
This is what I'm confused of. He already knows the guy's name, right? His name is Dennis. He asked him for ID. Now, I'm confused of why the officer's asking the passenger for, unless that vehicle's in his name, I don't know. Unless he's clairvoyant, I don't know how he knows this guy's name if he's asking him for ID. I just don't.
Why don't you step into the car until we can identify you?
What? Okay. I guess I'm confused. Maybe you guys, I'm not a cop. I know when I was younger, I went into, I tried to get a job there. You know, there was like 350 of us trying to get 10 jobs, right? I was in the 10, but I wasn't a minority, okay? I am a sort of a person with color, but not that color. But I'm confused. Okay, so police officers, whoever's listening to this, how does this guy know all this information? If he knows his name, he's asking for ID. Get out of the car so we can identify you. I'm confused. I'm totally confused.
You got anything on your person, man? You got anything on you? Any weapons or anything like that? What's up?
Now, listen, I might be, not the brightest lamp in the freaking whatever, but dude, if I was a cop, am I going to ask the guy? Maybe you do. Now, I'm understanding if I'm carrying, like if I have a concealed weapon permit and I'm pulled over by a police officer, I tell them that I have a concealed weapon permit. I have a weapon in the car, where it's at. I keep my hands on the steering wheel, okay? And until the officer feels comfortable with me, I can show him, my permit and whatever, okay? But, obviously he wants to assure himself that they're... Now, if you're a bad guy, do you tell a cop, yeah, I got illegal weapons in the car, man? Hey, I got some drugs in the back. I got a couple minors in the trunk. I just killed a guy. I mean, really? I don't...
Awesome. Okay, go ahead and step out.
Stupid. Please. But it's kind of a dumb question.
Hello? Go and step out, man. Yeah, reach. Unbuckle your seatbelt and step out of the vehicle. Yeah, what's up? Stop the car, man! Stop the car! Stop the car!
Okay, so you can hear the passenger tell the driver to move, get out of the car, right? He's picking it up on his microphone. Now, listen, this officer does tell the court that he is not trained to stand in front of the car of a moving vehicle, right? So this is where the officer makes the mistake. Either you're going to fire your weapon or you're going to get out of the way, right? That's what I would. I don't know. Every situation's different. If you're in this situation, man, your adrenaline's flowing. You have no idea what you could do. You're thinking the worst, right? I wouldn't want to be a cop. The stress, the factor, the pay is menial compared to what you got to put up. This dude's in Iowa. Look at the background. What is there? There's nothing there. They're in farm country. You're not. If you get a traffic stop that day, you're probably happy because you got something to do.
Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop it! Stop!
Okay, so hindsight with this guy, he probably thought, you know what? I'm just gonna let him go, man. I'm gonna let him go. I'm jumping on the hood of his car. He ain't gonna stop. Dude's already got a warrant, supposedly, right? That's what he found out somehow. I don't know how he found out, but
The car! Stop the car! Get off the put on the god brakes! Put on the brakes! Put on the brakes!
okay. So I'm looking at this past tense, right? I'm just an innocent bystander to this, but this dude's obviously taking off. And you're either shoot him or get off the car right now, right? You have no idea what kind of mental state this guy in, what he did. He wants to get away. Obviously, he's taking off and kicking his friend out of the car.
Stop the car! Stop the car, man! Jesus Christ! Stop the car, man!
Carroll 91, he is going north past the county shed to Highway 30. I have 1050 in a ditch. I need medics to my location. I have Officer McCarty down.
Okay, so basically that's the end of the actual video. You could see that the officer did fly off that car when he went off the pavement there, and he did break his back. Apparently the injuries weren't that devastating to him that he had to quit the force or whatever. But in the actual this gentleman, this Dennis guy that was driving, I don't know if you'd call him a gentleman or not, but he was sentenced to up to 5 years for this incident. They did catch him. But it doesn't tell you what the traffic stop was for, how he got the guy's ID. I looked all over for that information. The only thing that tells you in the court, what I found in the court, is that the officer says that he was not trained into stepping in front of a vehicle when it's taken off. Obviously, nobody is, right? Get out of the way. I mean, it's not worth it. Now, if this guy had committed murder, and if he's wanted, if he was, let's say, if he was very dangerous individual, you'd probably have to shoot him, right? Because you have no idea what he's going to do when he's taken off. He could just go nutso and start running people over. Who knows? Okay. But when you're in that situation, I'm assuming that this officer in the court would probably, what are you doing on top of a guy's car? Why you get out of his way? All these other things, just like I'm doing. When you get into court and you got now this would have probably made national news, right? I mean, it would have been all over the place. Obviously, this officer is white. The guy driving the car is a black guy. If he would have shot him, it would have just been George Floyd all over the place. But why he stood out in front of the car, he'd been better off to run back to his car and chase him, or just let him go. The guy, you'd have put out a all points bulletin on him, right? Wherever he would have went eventually. As long as he's not in danger, like if he's got a warrant, they don't say what the warrant was for, murder or anything else. So I'm speculating with a lot of this because I did try to investigate some. The only thing I did find out is he's serving up to 5 years in prison. And so there's a lot of vagueness in that whole thing. If you guys seen things that I didn't see, or you question things that I seen or you seen, let me know in the comments, because I'm just a bystander, right? I mean, I like putting videos, I like to find these things. Obviously, I look at it this way. There should be like a national training with all of this stuff, okay? Because now we got vehicles involved. We got people that are running. Either quit chasing them and then just find out their name, because a lot of these people end up crashing, killing themselves, killing somebody else. They're doing dangers to police officers. Quit chasing them, right? Unless they're in a mental state, or they're going to kill somebody, or they're a murderer. Yeah, I would, get the guy off the street. But if he's got some stupid minor violation, or, he didn't pay his child support, or whatever, the guy's a shoplifter, man, just put out a warrant for him like they did here. And eventually, if you catch him, fine, whatever. But if he's a serial killer, I mean, whatever, you got to stop the guy. But do some national training with these guys. Don't step in front of a moving vehicle. I mean, you taught that from age 1, right? Don't look both ways before you cross the street. Don't step out between two parked cars, all this stuff. Don't stand in front of a motor vehicle if you're a cop with a gun and tell somebody this. Like, dude, I mean, you're dealing with people who do not want to go to prison, they want to have their life, right? And they'll do anything. They'll drive cops on their car with a gun pointed at them. So what I'm understanding too is that a vehicle is you could, that's from what I'm understanding, it's a weapon, right? If he's using that weapon and he's not stopping, then use force, right? I wouldn't want to do that. I would just get out of the way and say, hey, there you go, buddy. We'll chase you or whatever. We'll put out, hey, look for a red car, man. I mean, the dude's out there, whatever. But I ain't chasing him. I'm a cop. Just, anymore. Why bother? Why put your life out for someone else? I wouldn't do it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys' comments. Sometimes these things are actually funny. I know this guy fell off this car and whatever, but you think, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to risk your life for someone else that's going to go to prison for a few years and get out while you're dead? No clue. You guys have a wonderful day. I'd appreciate it if you subscribed, if you haven't already. Share this with your friends, your family, your neighbors, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle. And also like this video, man, and comment. I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye now.